So just as we're carrying on up the Ashby, I'll just give you a few little bits of information regarding why we like this canal and why so many people miss the opportunity to see it and go to the nice places what are very close to it. We've got really rich historical heritage around here, not necessarily canals or canal, even though there is a bit of that, but we've got the Battle of Bosworth, the battlefield there, and that's where Henry Tudor took over from Richard III as the King of England, and we will be visiting Stoke Golding at some point on this trip, either going up or coming back, and that is where Henry Tudor became, or unofficially became, the King of England. And it's a lovely place, that. Besides the battlefields, we've got some lovely villages. We've got there's a lovely railway, a very old railway, and railway carriages nearby, which we'll definitely visit, and a really quaint old-fashioned cafe, not your Costas and things like that, but what you would imagine a good old-fashioned railway cafe should look like. It's very nice. Then we've got the stones, which I'll talk about later in the video, and then when we get to the top, there's all the restoration being going on, and I'll talk more when we get up to the top of it. And on top of that, I know a lot of you have made some really nice comments about some of the views I did on the Shropshire Union, you know, because I like I've said, I do it slightly different than the rest of the guys out there vlogging, but I defy anybody to say what we're going to show you in this later vlog is as nice as anywhere, and might possibly beat the Shropshire Union for views. So we'll continue, and I'll keep getting back on, and we'll see how it goes. But it's fantastic, this canal. Another thing I said as well when we came onto the Ashby was it was the canal that never got to where it was going and actually ended up coming backwards a bit. And I will go into that in detail, like I say, at the top, but there was also a couple of things what this canal was really famous for, or areas nearby where it was. One was the coal known as the Moira Cut, and that was always going to London because it was mega sought after as being of the highest quality, and was one of the reasons why this canal became very profitable. And the other thing was, and these are worth a fortune now if you get the originals, there's a place, it's about 8 miles away from the end now, called Measham, and they did pottery, and that is highly sought after. Measham pottery, highly sought after, and it costs hundreds of pounds for pieces now because it's quite unique. Well, that's somewhere else about the canal as well. Now I really do hope as we go up we get some nice sunny weather, because it will truly show you the beauty when you look over the fields and that. But we'll see how it goes. Now where we are now on the Ashby Canal, this is the part what's not that rural. Behind these trees on either side we're talking about the industrial part of the Ashby. Not much, probably for about a mile, and it's about a third of the way up the Ashby, but this is just a bit of industrial stuff, but it certainly doesn't spoil the remote feeling you get, and you're very soon back into all of that. But there is always that little bit of industry going on round here. Well, if all goes to plan, in the next few minutes we'll be mooring up for a little while. It's Trinity Marina. This is very close to where I worked the last few years of my working career. Even though I don't live anywhere around here, it was a nearly £500 million project I was involved with, and this is where I came. It's only a matter of about half a mile away from here, but that's a thing of the past. But hopefully we can moor up here in the new modern era marina this, and if we moor up I'll show you a few details round it. So the question is, are we going to get a little bit of a mooring, or only for a short while, but if it's okay to get a mooring, well and good. Now I know you think there's a gap here on the right as we're going past, but that's actually a private mooring and we're not allowed to moor there. So we'll see what's what. I mean, it's a stopping point, that's what I'll say it is. It's not my type of marina and all that, with a Premier Inn and a Brewer's Fur and all that attached to it. But if we can get in, we can do our toilets at least, and perhaps get a bit of milk from the convenience shop what's on site. But only time will tell. Well, we've stopped at one of these marinas, Trinity Marina. Like I say, this is everything on site type of marina, but I'm not a great fan of these types, with its shop and its Brewer's Fur next to it. Not my type, but at least we could do the toilet, even though they charge us £2, which annoys me. But that's us done here, and it starts to improve all the way now as we start going again. Well, as I told you, slowly but surely the Ashby Canal gets nicer and nicer. And again, this is not the best of it. It improves dramatically, like I say, when we do the second part of the canal. But you can have that little bit of industrial and urban life just in that little bit of like a mile and a half. But everything else around is, well, just gets more and more stunning. And I just cannot believe people shoot up and down this canal, can't be bothered stopping at places, or even more, just dash past it at the bottom and don't come up, because it's an absolute nonsense. Because this is a really nice relaxing canal, and you need to experience it, because it's not like being on any other part of the canal network. It's just got a different feel completely. Just here as we're going past as well is another very nice marina here. It's nice and quiet, and one of our friends from the Hudson boat gathering moor on here, and it is a chill out marina, as I'd call it. Sometimes we moor around here. We've got a choice of this mooring or one further round, and that's because we visit Stoke Golding. Now, Stoke Golding is a very, very nice small village, and I think I told you previously, one of its claims to fame is that at the Battle of Bosworth in, I think it was 1445, something like that, Henry Tudor, after beating Richard III in the Battle of Bosworth, he actually unofficially became the King of England. I think I told you that. But if you look, it is where we normally moor, yeah. If you look across there, and you're only touching the bits and pieces here, big farm there as well. But at some point on our travels along here, as it vanishes out of sight behind the trees, we will be visiting Stoke Golding. And there is a good reason to visit Stoke Golding, and I think quite a few of you would think I could cope with that. Well, I think it's 3 pubs there in Stoke Golding, and we like visiting one called the Three Horseshoes. Not only does it serve nice beer, but you go through the door in the same building, you open this door, and lo and behold, there's an Indian restaurant built into it as well. So you can't beat that. A few beers into the Indian restaurant for your meal, and in the lovely village of Stoke Golding. And again, nobody talks about things like this, but we will actually go there, and I'll do a bit of filming as well further down the line. But we will definitely be visiting on our travels on the Ashby. Now, just coming up now, on the right is a place called Sutton Cheney Wharf, and there's a cafe and bistro there as well, which is quite acceptable, and you get a lot of gongoozlers here, particularly on really nice days. And it's popular because nearby is the battlefield centre, where all the details and the fields and all that about Richard III and Henry Tudor. So this is why this is so popular, and there'll be lots of people stirring as we go past. Well, we've just come up from our boat, and we're going for a walk. We're at Sutton Cheney. We've not done the walk before, but it's been recommended, so it's through that gate, and we'll see what we find. As we've come up the Ashby, we did say that we'd get more and more nice scenery, and I'm pretty certain there's far more to come as well. But this is the start of the walk, and we'll see what's what as we venture that bit further. Well, we're just coming out of this little walk through the woods, and again, whatever we see, we see. It does look a pretty nice area, this. That's always nice. The sun glistening through the trees.
I like the sound of gravel.
Yeah. This is turning out to be very nice. And it continues. So every little step's a surprise. There's a few things here. I know that in the coming weeks or late summer there's going to be a full reenactment here of the Battle of Bosworth. I wonder what outcome they have this time. But there's all nice things around here. All nice things. Fabulous. Yes, so King Richard III, well, he was the guy who was the last of the Plantagenets, and he fought, as they say, a grand death, and then he was stripped bare of all his armour, and they said he was taken to Leicester. And Henry Tudor, where Bernadette is, became the King of England. And the other thing as well about this with King Richard III, when they found his body in the car park at Leicester, they actually brought it back here before his interment. So this is steeped in real deep history, this. And I do find things like this really good. And the other thing I've just noticed, as a step back, the War of the Roses ended when Henry Tudor became king, and I can just see here that we've got the red roses to represent Lancashire and the white roses to represent Yorkshire. Well, this is all good stuff, this. I know it's not narrowboating, but it's nice to see these sort of things. Well, this is where our journey started and will end. It's been really pleasant, totally enjoyable, and actually I feel quite good considering I've been walking up hills and down hills and everywhere. So that's been good. Well, we're leaving Sutton Cheney now, and we've had a few days there with a very, should we say, a very large mixture of weather.